With several hygiene and physical distancing measures in place, the reopening of UAE cinemas brought a bit of joy to movie buffs who were starved for entertainment in light of the pandemic. Although cinemas began operations in May, no new movies were released until this weekend.
Cinema, effectively for the last few months, were a coffee shop without coffee because we didn't have any new films. So now that the films are coming back, we are seeing a massive increase in business.
People headed to theaters in Dubai on Thursday to watch the new Christopher Nolan film Tenet. The espionage thriller premiered in the UAE ahead of the USA, bringing in more footfall.
Last week in the UAE we had a 60% increase in business. In Egypt a 50% increase in business. So we're seeing, as new movies are coming back, a big increase in footfall. This weekend we have Tenet, which is without question one of the biggest films of the year.
Film production was largely put on hold in Hollywood and worldwide due to the coronavirus pandemic. Movie studios scrambled to shift film release dates and following cinema closures. And this freeze in activity seems to have encouraged some change in direction.
Pretty much everything had to go on pause. And we did see some innovation come from that. There were some production companies that started doing, Zoom films. We saw a company out of Lebanon produce a film that was going to NBC. We've seen a number of different, creative ways to get around that.
Experts say a major concern for the film industry is whether there will be financing for projects, given the uncertainty overshadowing the market.
In the region, really the question is not necessarily whether or not they can film safely, but whether or not they're ready to continue with the financing of a gigantic project when there's so much uncertainty in the market and how things might continue. So we're seeing fewer things that were happening are continuing and slowly starting to get back on track, but things that were really in the works might be on hold or be simmering just for the time being until we have some clarity over to where the world is going.
Theaters in the UAE have been following strict measures, including spacing around seats and moving to contactless ticket bookings. Guests are required to wear a face mask, while employees need to wear a face mask and gloves. Meanwhile, new movies such as the Disney film Mulan and DC's Wonder Woman 1984 are expected to play across UAE cinemas in September. Amal Al Jabri, Emirates News.